There is certain thoughts that I won't allow in my brain and my mind because I know what it leads. These thoughts that enter to try to victimize you, try to make you feel like you're getting the short end of the stick, trying to make you anxious, right? Whatever. For everybody, something different, right? I'll tell you what it is for me, and I've learned the hard way. But in the end, it's been fruitful. I've learned that how to navigate. I've learned how to navigate. In the same way that you hold the steering wheel and you navigate through the streets of a vehicle. Okay, well, you got to do that with your mind. You have to understand that certain things you don't allow in here because the more you process it, meditate on it, chew on it, the more it converts and it becomes, monsters. It becomes strongholds. It becomes something else. A lot of the time, it's unfruitful, negative in nature. And then people be pursuing the wrong things all because they're letting the wrong thoughts enter into their minds. You have control over that, and you're supposed to understand, right, what leads to what, and what you should put a big stop sign before and say, no. So, because it's you've done it so many times, and you understand where it leads, and that's just a clue to you. It's what you need to pay attention to save yourself, to help yourself. The solution is once you see stuff starting to brew, you can connect the dots for yourself because you've been around the mountain long enough to say, hey, pumping the brakes, doing a U-turn, going in a different direction, right? And we're supposed to have self-control and discipline on our own life. It's part of the 9 fruits of the Holy Spirit. And I just wanted to tell you guys that Satan is busy. The devil, he infiltrates the minds with his darts. The darts are fiery arrows that come in the form of an idea, in the form of a thought, often to propel you towards what he wants you to do. And it takes a lot of awareness for us to understand that, you're in a battlefield. It is what it is. In the spiritual realm, it's a battlefield. And when you have the awareness that Satan uses people to get at you, then, your antenna, so to speak, will be up. And you'll be looking at people like, are you an agent of the devil, or are you an angel of God, so to speak? Did you come here to teach me a lesson? Teach me a lesson in the sense of, why did I trust you? Why did I follow you? Why did I hear you, listen to you? You see, you should never live in regret. You should always look at things from the perspective of, well, I won't do that again. Thank you for teaching me. I won't do that again. So, yeah, just pay attention, right? The more awareness you have of how this world operates, the first thing being the spiritual realm, then how you conduct yourself and what your actions are, how you carry yourself, plays a role in what you're going to receive. Obviously there's consequences to you've heard the saying, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, kind of thing. Yeah, so the opposite is true too. You carry yourself right, you do things the right way, and life will treat you in a manner where you're enriched with the things that you cannot buy at the store. Things like peace, satisfaction, contentment. That one word, contentment, um, it matters a lot, and I found it to be an action that has really helped me. For a long time, I was anxious because anytime you get a blessing, you grab onto it, you look at it, you bring it to your chest, kind of thing. Like you cherish it for a moment, and then you're like, all right, on to the next blessing. This is what I want now, kind of thing. But that word contentment has brought me consolidation. It has brought me to a place of I'm enough. I have enough. I'm good. And there's a you're just in still waters when you're content. The waters are still, right? It's not wavy. You're not rocking back and forth. And that's how it was before. When I was just like, when I looked at my horizons and I said, wow, look how far I've come. I have what most people are fighting for, and looking for, and praying for. I said, why is it not enough? And then I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, it is enough. I am enough. I'm good enough. And when I came to that place, that if I get blessed, I'll smile and hey, thank you. But if I don't, I'm okay. I mean, that place right there is special, because now I'm not tossed to and fro by my feelings anymore, by my thoughts. So whenever I have thoughts that try to contradict where I'm trying to live, I rebuke the thoughts. I say, nope, I'm not entertaining you. I'm not going there, because I know what it produces. And what it produces, I want to stay away from. That anxiety, that bitterness, that resentment, that grudge, that attitude type of life. Like, life is doing me dirt. I'm a victim. Some other people are getting what they want. Why can't I get what I want? I went through all that. And then we call it racism. I went through that. You're going to laugh, but it's true. This whole racism thing got in my head so much so that, and it's shameful to say this, okay, I'm absolutely ashamed, but it's these things that we go through in life that help us to grow and help us to get out of our self-centeredness. And that's exactly what I was. I was self-centered. Everything revolved around me. But it's hard for me to say, because it's really it's one of those things that God is my best friend. But I went through a phase where I was like calling God a racist. I'm like, is it because you don't like me because you're racist? I was just like, because I'm doing everything right. Why can't I get blessed? What's up with the blessing? What's up with the your promises in the Bible? It says that you do this, this, and this, you'll get this, this, and this. Where is it? And I was in my immaturity. I was caught up in this place of attitude, like it was all about me, myself, and I. Like, I'm serving you for me, kind of thing. You peep that, right? I'm serving you for me. I mean, that's self-centered, bro. And so like I finally came to a place, man, after all that, and God is just quiet. He's not really like, at that point when I was going through that, it was not like just quiet. I'm just like, and little by little I started to loosen my grip on this mentality that I had, which was only benefiting Satan. Because guess what would happen after I would get into that attitude? I would feel guilty and shame. I would feel like, God, I'm sorry for acting that way. God, and I went through it a few times over. And I said, you know what, man? I don't want to live like this no more. What is it that produces this? And then I said, it's those thoughts right there, that other people are getting what I want. Like, I see all these I saw those people that have tattoos all over their faces and they live dreadful lives and they have all the money, and it made me feel a certain type of way. I was just like, man, here I am doing all the right things and, you know, living paycheck to paycheck. And then these guys over here, you know, rapping about killing people and this and that, and they have all the money. My mentality was like, this is unfair. What's up with that? You know, and I just felt it's very easy. One of the easiest things to do is to feel as a victim. To feel as a victim, all you have to do is compare yourself with somebody else. That's as simple as it is to become a victim of mentality. It's like it's always going to be somebody above you, always going to be somebody greater than you, has stuff that you don't have. But why is it that we never look at the stuff that we have that other people don't have? Because you know that there's third world countries out there that don't have even water. I said, why don't we compare ourselves with them and call ourselves rich? So it's like, yeah, because the devil's real. And he loves to get us wrapped up in our feelings and this and that. Often leading to our demise. But just something to think about. You know, what is it for you? What are you thinking about meditating on, feeding into a mentality that you continuously see that it's destructive in nature? And every time you think about it that way, you have this wrath or this anger, resentment, grudge, all this stuff that stirs up inside of you, and you know you're not happy. You're not satisfied, happy, or any of that. All because of what? Those thoughts that you be having. So, for me, I decided I want to be happy and I want to be satisfied and I want to be at peace, because peace means a lot to me. And so then I said, okay, that's it. I took a good look at what I have and I said, it's enough. I'm content. It's enough. And that's it. That's all I needed to do is turn the switch up. Say, you know what? This switch is down. It's not working while it's down. Let me switch it up. And when I did that, lo and behold, you know. But people have this. There's a lot of mirages in life. I learned, and there's a lot of delusions. And I will tell you, like, most of our life growing up, we're puffed up with a lot of fantasy. Notice all these superheroes, Tooth Fairy, Santa Claus, all this stuff is fantasy. It's not real. So half of your life, not half, but most of your when you're being trained, when you're being programmed, and when you are a child, when it most matters that your brain is being developed, you're being inflated with helium to go up to the clouds with all this fantasy stuff. How much would life be different if you were taught hard work, like that this is life, hard work, you know, staying on course, doing things the right way, being ethical, being moral, carrying yourself a certain type of way, like how a man should or how a woman should, etc. If you do that, rooted, you would never ever have a victim mentality. You would always say, hey, no, this is life, this is how it is. The reason why we feel victimized is because we've been lied to our whole life, most of our life. Lied to in the sense of life is this other way, this type of way, and you're not living the life because you're living over here, right? It's a point of a finger is saying life is over there, and I'm not able to enter into life, right? And so they have this select group like the celebrities, and you see the celebrities, and you're like, man, that's the life. And every time you see them on TV, you think, man, you got the life that I want, and you're always feeling like you got the short end of the stick, and that you'll never be enough. You'll never have enough. You're not the star. You're not famous. You're not rich, and so because you're not that, then life, you know, life is racist, kind of thing. And so, really, it comes down to you being lied to, and I've been lied to, and dissect it, really dissect it, think, use your mind, think, and see that this world is, you know, it's. And the last thing I'm gonna say is that, you know, when you're a child, they puff you up with a lot of attention. Most children, not all children, most children get a lot of attention and a lot of hugs, pats and back. Everybody's come visiting them, squeezing their cheeks, smiling, taking pictures, singing happy birthday at the top of their lungs, doing, you know, little parties for them, taking them out and this and that. And what does that do to a child? It makes them feel like they are not only entitled, but they're at the center of attention. They matter so much and this and that. But what do we all know that life is like? The older you get, the less everything matters, or things are important. For example, a 40-year-old's birthday, 50-year-old's birthday, there's not a lot of people present. There's not a lot of this, that, and the other. I mean, you'll have some relatives come over and this and that. Like, I literally forgot that I was 35, because each birthday that comes by, I'm the type of guy. I'm like, you know, I don't care for the cake. I don't care for any of that. Like, don't worry about it. You know, I value myself, and I don't need other people to like. I don't like the spotlight. Let's just put it that way. But where I was going with all that is basically that it's a setup. If you look at it, that the children, you know, are brought up, you know, thinking that they're like all that, you know, and this and that. And the older you get, just like in a bus, you start to move back and all the way to the back, and then the younger generation starts to sit at the front. And so, what happens when a 5-year-old has all those parties and there's a newborn? Now, the newborn gets all the attention. The 5-year-old feels a certain type of way, like, hey, I used to matter, I used to be important. But that's how life really is. But what happens when you tell a 5-year-old, hey, listen, man, I love you, very important, but the spotlight is not always going to be on you, and things are not always going to be handed to you, and you're going to have to work, and you're going to have to earn stuff and deserve stuff, and sometimes even when you earn it and deserve it, somebody else will take it from you, and just because they know somebody on the top, and then that somebody on the top, you know, grabbed them, and then you earned that position, but they gave it to them instead. I said, this is life, and this is not. And, you know, and you're just going to have to be resilient. You're going to have to be strong, and believe that God's going to make it right, and believe that you're going to make it, because you're not going to give up, and you're going to have the type of attitude that, you know, you're going to carry yourself in such a way where other people are going to have no choice but to hire you or love you and embrace you because of how you carry yourself. You don't carry yourself as a victim or as a person that wants a handout. You carry yourself as a person that, you know, you're going to contribute to whatever it is that you're in front of. And from contributing, people are going to notice you, and they're going to say, hey, I want you on my team. Hey, I want you next to me. Hey, you know, we're in need of somebody like you, as opposed of having a chip on your shoulder and all this other stuff. When you give talks, and when you get them young, and you really tell them how life really is, then when life happens to them, they won't feel a certain type of way. So what am I saying? I'm saying we've been lied to. You know, they're saying like celebrities have the best life, and we're just, you know, we're always chasing, wanting to amount to something bigger than what we are. And man, I really come down to a place where I found happiness in just being content. settle down, man. Chill out. Stop running. Stop and smell the roses, so to speak. You know, take a deep breath of fresh air and look at creation and marvel at the little things of life. You know, the birds playing with one another, you know, the clouds and what they form, the art of God in the sky. And I found that, you know, life is found somewhere else than what we're told that life is.